My name's Dan, and I make music videos. For the past 4 years, I've made my own fireworks, learnt the art of rapid horticulture, modified vehicles, cloned humans, and taught myself how to shoot, edit, and colour grade, all to help bands with no money try to compete with kittens, nutshots, GoPros, and a world full of clever bastards. It's fun, but it sure as hell ain't lucrative. So when a global brand approaches you interested in supporting clips and other creative music-related projects and ideas, how do you get involved but stay true to your art form? So first, I thought I'd sit down with friends and people I respect and ask them honestly about life in the music industry and how they feel about corporate involvement, on camera, no holds barred. But I assumed the brand wouldn't be up for it. Well, turns out they were. So this is the truth about money in music.
That'd be a good snare.
Want to record it later?
Yeah.
Jay should be drunk. Where's the loop totally there?
All right, cool. So yeah, if you can just maybe give us a quick history of the band and some of the big milestones you've had so far.
For us, we just wanted to play shows, so we didn't really think about it in, what's the best way to use our time. We just quite literally went, can we get a show? Can we get a show? Yep, book them all in. Right, you all got to get time off work. I can't get time off work. We'll quit, hop in the van and go.
Mum kicked me out of home when I was 19. She's like, you're not doing anything. I'm like, oh, I am, Mum, I'm playing in a band.
This band's gonna be huge, Mum. This is it.
Bill was talking to a fella in a band the other day, and they're just like, if you don't get paid and there's no food, and if the sound's shit, you're still gonna get beers. And that's kind of what it's sort of the live gigging boils down to. At the end of the day, you're gonna be with your mates and you're gonna be able to have some free beers.
Signed record deals, been at 21 on the US charts, nominated for an ARIA, played Lollapalooza and these sorts of things, and came home and had to move in with my sister-in-law, and I applied for a job at McDonald's the same day we were nominated for an ARIA. And all my friends and family were saying oh, when are you gonna make it? And I always found it such a weird question because we made it the day we got the show at Rick's in 2007. That was all we were focused on. Everything else was non-stop cream for us. Dude, we're stoked. I'm going to work at 6 a.m. tomorrow morning and playing at 11:30 tomorrow night, but we're stoked, for $100, but we're stoked.
I know one expectation I had was whenever I saw a band that was mildly successful, I remember we looked at them and we'd be like, they must be making so much money.
We don't really look at trying to be financially successful out of a band, as much as that would be totally rad.
This is the type of decision it takes over your life. It's not something that you can do just on the side.
In no way does the band come even close to drawing the income that we need to do the things that we want to do, but that's not going to bloody stop us.
Simple maths are, if you've got a stocko $50,000 a year job, it means that for 4 or 5 people in the band to earn that, your band with the commissions and with your expenses has to turn over probably $1 million a year. So we just want to play awesome shows to lots of people and not have to pay for it, and that's
basically breaking even is the aim.
Yeah, and I think if you set the bar at that level, the extras on top are really nice.
I just kind of got to the point where I wasn't happy being signed to a major label. I felt like I was almost letting them down by not writing commercial hit songs, whatever that means.
The last 10 years has been a turbulent time in the music industry, and there's no income on the recording side and blah, blah, blah. Anyone who's crying poor is either has a hangover from the pre-digital days or just really isn't doing it well.
I feel like the music business is splintering into all these different kind of little niches for artists like me who don't write top 10 pop hit songs, not on purpose anyway.
I think a lot of bands are realising that they don't really make that much money from selling music. It's through touring or syncing, writing for other people or producing for other people.
I would say 80% of it would come from shows. We don't see $1 of CD sales.
It's almost like the recordings are your advertisement for your live show, because everyone who walks in a live show pays $10.
It sucks that you don't make as much money from selling music, but at the same time, there's always other ways to do it, and if that means I get to see more bands touring, then I guess that's kind of cool.
Go Freak started because we didn't want to make the music that people were like, the really popular music. Like, I don't think selling out's anything that we would ever consider doing. I'd rather stop making music, to be honest.
A lot of people will say bands have sold out if they're successful. Well, I think that's bull. If a band is successful, they're just successful, and that's awesome, and you should be happy for them.
People, they put a big deal on selling out and that sort of thing. And in all honesty, there's not much difference between taking money from some brand and some record label. I mean, it's pretty similar stuff. In some ways, it's better to take it from the brand because you don't have to pay the money back.
If you're being honest with, the way you write and the way you perform, I think you have to survive. We've done the whole, having no money, and it's not romantic.
If you're doing something and you don't even like it, you know what I mean, or you don't even care about it, or you've never done it or used that product, I think it's a bit off. But
I know a lot of bands are now able to fund their creative processes by putting their song on a TV commercial or on a film or whatever it is. It means that they can get money coming in to do what they really want to do, which is make the music.
In a lot of ways, it can be a win-win situation. Everyone has their limits, and it has to make sense.
I don't know, I almost think the sneakiness of some of the product placement in videos and things is worse. Whereas if you're kind of honest about it, then I think that's better. Isn't it a law or something that there needs to be a disclaimer that something's an advertisement? Yeah. They need to have that on Instagram photos and things.
We want to keep making music, and sometimes that might mean you might have to get some money from an outside source.
Exactly.
To keep doing what you love doing.
I'm not going to feel like I can sell out until I'm not driving my mum's Yaris.
If it's the relationship with the company is authentic,
exactly,
I think it's fine. We're not making much money at the moment. If came to us, it's like, yeah, we love lots of chicken because we can eat. That'd be great.
If you've still got control of what you want to do and you have a bit of a say in where it's going, then I think you've got to do it.
Sometimes I ask myself, what the was that? Why did that brand choose that act to collaborate with? And that's probably one of the most important things, actually, is that it's not just a brand slap. It's actually providing something that the end user, the fan, wants to actually participate in.
I could never be
the executive of the company is well, I don't like these lyrics and I don't like this and this. I think as long as they're happy to be behind what you're doing, then that's fine. As long as they're not driving the agenda, I don't see any problem with it at all.
It's money, and we need money to survive. If this is what we really want to do, we have to realise you got to take what you can take. As long as it's not compromising us or we're not embarrassed to be associated or affiliated with something, I have absolutely no problems with it. I'd encourage it to happen.
Yeah, and that's the thing, I don't think it would be funding anything that is negative for us. Otherwise we wouldn't be doing it. And same for the brand. They wouldn't bother investing money if they weren't into it.
It's a means to an end when you're in our position in the industry, I guess, and
you don't have to recoup.
Just having that little bit of extra motivation to collaborate with different artists that you might not already know or you might not feel comfortable approaching. If a third party is going to come along and set that up and pay for it to happen, I think that's amazing.
Making a living from music these days isn't easy, and the artists I like aren't in it for the money. But if there was a way for them and creatives like me to occasionally make a better living from doing what we love without compromising, it'd be cool to see what that would look like.